Hey guys, how's it going? Alex here with Higher Hertz, and in this video we are going to take a look at a pretty critical piece of studio gear. These are the Blue MixFi headphones from Blue Microphones. Now, this review is going to be a little bit of a long-term review, if you will. I've had these headphones for a couple of years now, and so I just want to tell you guys a little bit about how they work, how they sound, some of the basic features, and also how they have held up for me over a couple of years of full-time, almost daily studio use. So obviously headphones are a pretty critical thing for any producer or musician to have, or even if you're just a passionate lover and listener of music. Having a great pair of headphones is pretty clutch, and these are a really popular option. You know, obviously Blue Microphones is a company with quite a bit of experience in the audio industry. They're kind of best known for more consumer-oriented studio mics, like their Blue Yeti, which is like a USB sort of streaming mic that a lot of gamers and content creators use. They have a whole line of like the Blue Bottle and the Blue Baby Bottle and a bunch of different studio microphones that are designed for instruments. But they also, a couple of years ago, broke out into sort of audiophile headphones. And they do have a whole line of headphones. A lot of them are geared towards more kind of audiophile people who just really enjoy listening to music and want an incredibly high quality pair of headphones just for listening. But the MixFis in particular are designed to not only work for audiophiles, but also to work for mixing and tracking applications in the studio. Now, I picked these up because A, they look really cool. I love the sort of design language of them. But B, they had really great reviews. And most importantly, I needed a good pair of closed back headphones. My old headphones that I had used for years and years prior to these are the Beyerdynamic DT880s, and those are exceptional headphones. They're super accurate, but they're open back. So sometimes if you're like, tracking guitar or drums or something and you're wearing open back headphones, they bleed in a lot of sound, and you can kind of sometimes have a hard time hearing what is actually in what you're listening to if you're playing a loud instrument. So I wanted to get something really nice that was still accurate, that I could still mix on, but that was a closed back design. So when I was playing my V-drum kit or playing a real drum kit, playing next to an amp, something like that, that closed back design would really isolate me from the room and let me hear what I was doing really clearly. And these headphones are excellent in that role. But before I talk about kind of how they perform overall, let's just talk about the specs real quick. So obviously they're sort of standard headphones. There's no like fancy spatial audio or anything in them. They're just stereo, but they have really good quality drivers, nice comfy ear pads, and they have this really intriguing kind of hinged design, which is really neat. You have this knob here at the top that kind of adjusts how tight they are. If you have a slightly smaller noggin or a gigantic noggin like I do, you can really dial them in to fit your head. And they do fold up a little bit, a little bit more compact for storage, using this interesting hinged design. And another cool point about the hinged design is that it lets you kind of place the top wherever you want it on your head. So if you have headphones that maybe ride forward a little bit, these are a little bit more adjustable than your average pair, because you can kind of place this nice big cushion on top, sort of frontwards to backwards on your head, if you will, which is really nice. They're very comfortable and can be worn very easily for quite long periods of time, so that's a huge plus. But the other really cool feature of these, and what really gets into that kind of audiophile space, is that these actually have 3 modes of operation. There's this little rotary switch here right next to where the jack connects, or the cable rather connects, and you have 3 different modes. You have passive mode, where they just operate like any other pair of headphones, and you will need a headphone amp of some kind, whether it's in your audio interface or in a mixing console or what have you. But then it also has 2 different active modes. So you have a micro USB port here, and these actually have a built-in battery because they have a built-in headphone amp. And this is really nice, not as much for studio or tracking applications, but it's really nice for if you're maybe on the go, maybe you're just listening to stuff on a laptop or on your phone, but you still really want high quality performance. You can use this active mode to use the integrated headphone amp to give you that really nice, clean, clear, kind of interference-free signal, whereas, again, a phone, a laptop, if it doesn't have that good of a headphone amp in it, that is going to affect the sound quality. So they built a really nice integrated amp into these, which you recharge with that micro USB port, and you can activate it, again, with this little switch here. And it has two different modes. It has just an active mode, and then it also has an active with bass boost, which is really just a nice kind of contouring EQ that brings out the low end a little bit, makes it a little bit crisper. You know, it's not something you'd want to ever use for mixing because it is affecting the frequency response of the signal. But just for casual listening or gaming or, you know, whatever, it is a nice feature to have to really, you know, kick up those bass frequencies and high frequencies and stuff a little bit. So that's nice. And I love that they have that integrated amp, because especially for people who are looking for a pair of headphones that can kind of do it all, from critical mixing to tracking to then just taking with you on the train or the bus or in the car or the plane or whatever, and having a great headphone amp still at your disposal. Very, very cool design. Another thing that I absolutely love about these is that it is kind of a breakaway cable design. It does include a couple of different cables, actually, one that is designed for use with iPhones and has the little clicker thing on it, as well as the one that I use here. It's really good length, about 10 feet. And yeah, just has your kind of jack there, and you can just plug it in. The reason I love these so much is headphones that I have had in the past, like the Beyerdynamics, if you ever step on the headphone cable while you're wearing them, you can do a ton of damage. But if you have a breakout design like this cable's just gonna pop out, you're not gonna jerk your head off to the side or damage the headphones anyway, it's just gonna pop out. And that to me is a lifesaver of a feature. So that's kind of a rundown of how they work. How do they sound? In a word, excellent. I keep them in passive mode 99% of the time because I only really use them in the studio, and my Antelope Audio Zen Tour, which is the interface that I use, has a great headphone amp and DAC in it already. So I really don't use that active mode really at all. It's designed, again, more for like a casual listener who wants good headphone amplification on the go. But in passive mode, they are very, very accurate. To me, I liked the top end responsive, my Beyerdynamics, just a little bit more. They felt a little bit more open and airy, but the low end on these is great. It's really tight, it's really accurate, it extends quite low, which is really, really nice. It can really help you hear down into that kind of lowest part of your mix. And also, you know, again, the closed back design isolates really, really, really well for tracking. So I find them to be great all-purpose headphones in the studio. I can definitely trust mixes on them. They do translate pretty well. There are nicer and more accurate headphones out there, but I think for the price point, which is about $299 on these, they really perform admirably. Speaking of longevity, they have held up really, really well. Again, like I said earlier, I got these about 2 years ago and have used them daily since. I use them mainly for tracking with my electronic drums, and then sometimes to check mixes, or if I'm mixing late at night, I'll throw them on. And they work great for all that. They're very accurate. My one complaint, and you can probably see here if I hold them up a little bit, these ear cups are definitely starting to go. They are separating and kind of tearing really all around the headphones and on both sides. They're kind of separating from the main ear cup here. We've got tears in this one right here, just big, big tear on this one right here. And these, again, literally just putting them on, taking them off, setting them on top of my V-Drum kit. That's all they've done in 2 years, and they are showing a fair bit of wear and tear on the earmuffs. The cups, everything else, you know, the headband, this hasn't lost tension. Everything else looks dang near brand new because, again, they've never really left my studio. But I am concerned. I think within the next year, these are really gonna start to go, the actual ear cups themselves, which are kind of just a typical like pleathery type material that you'd see on a lot of headphones. I think that is going to start to really fail, and I will need to figure out how to replace the earmuffs if I want to continue using them. And that, for a product at $299, that 300 USD brand new, is a little bit disappointing. I would like to see a better quality material used here. On my Beyerdynamics, I bought those used, and I used them for a good 4 years. And they have this gorgeous sort of velveteen material that is insanely comfortable to wear for days on end. And even though those are at least 6 years old now, if not 7 or 8, because again, I got them used, they're as good as new. They have never torn, they have never separated, there's absolutely no issue. These, again, have pretty significant tears forming in this pleather material. So I would hope to see a slightly better quality material there. But beyond that, you know, that's kind of just cosmetic, and it may become functional at some point, you know, functional issue. But for right now, you know, they're great. They're very comfortable. It's super, super cushy material with really good foam inside of it. So it's not like they hurt to wear or anything like that. They're massively adjustable and they sound great. So overall, I definitely recommend them. I think they are a great, great pair of headphones with some very cool features, especially for somebody who is looking for headphones not only for the studio, but also for casual listening. Beyond that, just be aware of this kind of tearing issue, which I don't think is uncommon. I have read some things online that other people who've bought these have encountered that, so do just be aware of that. But you know, if you're in the market for a pair of headphones in the $200 to $300 range, and you're looking at sort of the mid-tier Sennheisers, you're looking at the DT series from Beyerdynamic, you're looking at stuff like this, I think these are a great option for the closed back category. If you want something that really clamps down and isolates, gives you good even frequency response, and as an added bonus, you can take out into the world, have a great on-the-go headphone amp, I think these are going to be an excellent option for you. But I would love to know what you guys think. What do you think of the Mix 5s? Have you used them? Do you prefer a different pair of headphones, either in the studio or for just listening to stuff? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. But if you found this video informative, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with our new videos. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you back on the channel again soon. My name is Alex with Higher Hertz. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next one.